So another feature I want to show you is automatic clicks. So to open up your accessibility menu, if you have the shortcut and you click it and open it up and scroll down a little bit, it's right here in kind of this top part. So if you turn on automatic clicks, another way you can turn it on is to open up settings, search for accessibility up here in a search bar, and go into manage accessibility features. Get rid of this here. And then scroll down underneath, it's under the mouse and touchpad section. Automatically click when cursor stops. So that means anything that you hover over, you do not have to physically press down on the touchpad of the Chromebook, but it will automatically click whenever your mouse cursor stops over something. So this can be another option for kids who have difficulties actually pressing down or pressing and holding the appropriate amount of time in order to click on something. I don't know that it's not a super intuitive feature, but it is here for kids who have motor impairment issues. So I'll just show you a little bit of how it works. So when you turn it on, you get this toolbar up here. And oftentimes it shows up in the bottom left corner. I just have been messing around with it, and so mine's showing up in the top left. But these are the different buttons and kind of what they mean. So I'll just hover over them. So the first one is left click. So what that means is you will just normally left click on something when you hover over. The next one is right click. When you have this one enabled, whenever you hover over something, you will right click on it. So for instance, like this, to pull up other menus. And the default setting is to automatically revert back to a left click after action. And you can see over here on my toolbar that happened. That's the default setting, is that you can choose any other one of these options, but it'll go right back to being a normal click after you use one of those. You can turn that on or off. So the next button here is to double click. So you can double click on something. Anytime your mouse stops, it would double click. So for instance, if I need to minimize that screen, or if I want to double click on something, say I was searching, like I'm double clicking here, even though really I'm just hovering over things. I'm actually double clicking. There's also a pause button, which I really like. So you can temporarily pause this just by hovering over it. The other options that we get, go back in here, are to click and drag. So I would be able to, when I stop moving, click and be able to drag this somewhere around my screen. So for instance, I would be able to click and you can see I'm actually just hovering on my mouse pad, but I can click and move things around. The other thing I really like is the scroll. So when you enable scroll, you get this other little menu that lets you just hover over these buttons to scroll up and down on the screen. And you'll be able to scroll left and right as well. And you can hit stop to close that and go back to the left click. This last button here is just a toggle menu. So that means you can move it around. So if your students do like using this, they can move this little menu around so it's not in their way whenever they're trying to navigate around the screen. So this, like I said, could be an option. The other settings, you can change this one, delay before click, and what that does is you can change how fast it clicks after you've stopped moving the mouse. And I kind of like it to be a little longer, 2 seconds. But there are some other menu options here that you would be able to customize to make this feature really work and get the most out of it. So it's automatic clicks.